Okay, let's dive into something that sounds, well, completely bonkers when it comes to growing orchids. We're going to talk about a technique that's so radical, it seems to defy plant biology itself. A method that takes the #1 rule of orchid care and just flips it on its head.
So think about it for a second. What's the very first thing anyone ever tells you about your new orchid? The cardinal sin? Don't overwater it, right? We've all had it drilled into our heads. It's the fastest way to kill these things. But what if that core idea wasn't the whole story? What if some growers out there weren't just bending that rule, but absolutely shattering it? Well, say hello to full water culture, or FWC. And yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a method where the orchid's roots aren't just getting watered, they are living permanently submerged in a vase of water. And that right there is the central mystery we're going to unravel today. How in the world can a plant that's famous for hating wet feet possibly survive, let alone thrive in a constant bath? To really get our heads around this paradox, we've got to get a little bit nerdy and start with the biology. We need to look at what a normal orchid root is actually built to do. Because, honestly, on paper, this whole method is a total recipe for disaster.
All right, the key to this entire puzzle comes down to one word: velamen. It's this incredible, multi-layered tissue that covers the outside of the roots. Seriously, think of it like a high-tech sponge. Its entire job is to instantly snatch moisture out of the air, from a quick rain shower or even just humidity, and then, crucially, dry out again fast. It's a masterpiece of evolution designed for quick sips, not for a 24/7 swim.
So here's the fundamental conflict, right? On one hand, you've got the plant's natural design. Those roots absolutely need a wet-dry cycle to breathe, for gas exchange. If that spongy velamen stays soaked, oxygen can't get in, and the root literally suffocates. It rots. But on the other hand, full water culture shoves those exact same roots into a permanently wet, low-oxygen environment. This should cause rot every single time. So, what gives? How on earth does it work?
And this is where it gets absolutely fascinating. The secret isn't about teaching old roots new tricks. You can't. No, the secret is that the orchid, when put under immense stress, performs a complete biological reboot. It has the incredible ability to grow entirely new roots that are fundamentally different from the ones it had before. So how do you trigger this transformation? Well, it's a pretty high-stakes, all-or-nothing game for the plant. A lot of growers will actually start by pruning off the old, air-adapted roots, because they just aren't built for this new underwater world. Then, the plant goes into the water, which puts it into full-on survival mode. That stress is what forces the orchid to push out brand new roots directly into the water. And these roots, these are the key. They're true water roots. And these new roots are just a biological marvel, honestly. They often grow with a super thin velamen layer or sometimes none at all. This lets them pull dissolved oxygen right out of the water. Their whole surface is just more permeable. Some can even develop these tiny internal air channels. Think of them like built-in snorkels that actively pipe oxygen all the way down from the leaves to the very root tips. They are literally custom-built for living underwater. Okay, so now that we know how this is even possible, the next big question is, why? I mean, why would you put a plant through all that stress? It's clearly a huge risk. So let's break down the pros and the cons. On the plus side, the advantages are pretty cool. You get perfect, consistent hydration. No more guesswork. You can say goodbye to any pests that live in potting mix, like fungus gnats. And let's be real, seeing that whole healthy root system growing in a clear vase looks absolutely incredible. But, and this is a big but, the challenges are no joke. The risk of rot, especially during that transition phase, is huge. And this is not a set it and forget it kind of deal. It is a lot of work. And that brings us to something super important. Full water culture is not a casual experiment you just try on a whim. If you want any chance of success, to avoid almost certain failure, there are a few rules that are absolutely non-negotiable. You have to follow them with total precision. All right, if you take away only one thing from all of this, let it be this. Water temperature is everything. Why? Well, it's simple physics, really. Cold water holds way more dissolved oxygen than warm water. As that water warms up, the oxygen just disappears, and the risk of the roots suffocating and rotting just skyrockets. Seriously, keeping that water cool is the single most important factor for success. And beyond that, there are a few other must-dos. You've got to do a complete water change at least once a week to bring in fresh oxygen and get rid of waste. It's best to use purified or distilled water to avoid mineral buildup.
And if you use fertilizer, it has to be super, super diluted, like a quarter or even an eighth strength, or you'll burn those sensitive new roots. And this last one is critical. You have to leave a little air gap between the water surface and the base of the plant. If the crown stays wet, it's game over. That's a fast track to deadly crown rot.
So where does that leave us? Full water culture is this totally mind-bending thing, right? It's where plant biology meets high-stakes gardening. It's just powerful proof of how incredibly adaptable life can be. But at the same time, it demands so much precision that it's more of a dedicated craft than a simple care tip. So I guess the question is this just a cool niche hobby for the truly obsessed? Or is this maybe a glimpse into the future of how we grow and display plants, unlocking a potential we never even knew was there?